formidable robot.
Recently, I've been on a Zen kick, which mainly involves listening to ASMR and finding ways to chill out. I installed a couple of Zen farming games to play while studying, and they worked well enough. Each day, I would rotate between which game to play. To my surprise, there was no game scheduled for Sunday. So in a last-ditch effort to keep things running smoothly, I visited itch.io again. But I'd already downloaded all the games that suited me, so as any smart person would, I scrolled down to the very bottom of the page and discovered a quaint little exe file called Sonic Zen. I'm a big fan of Sonic, I'm an even bigger fan of Zen. This should be perfect, right? I checked the comments to see if this was actually a game and not just malware, and all 4 comments were glowing reviews. What could go wrong? I'm pretty sure hope it's not like some Sonic.exe based bullcrap, with the Kefka laugh and horror music from other video games and all. Upon opening the game, I was greeted with a solid red start button on a black background. If this wasn't strange enough, upon pressing it, I saw something even more bizarre. Slowly, images of muscular men with Sonic's head photoshopped onto their bodies flew across the screen, set to archetypal, relaxing music in poor quality. At first, I burst out laughing. The combination of the surreal visuals and the shitty music was the pinnacle of comedy to me at the time, and still is a little. This went on for a solid 2 minutes, until suddenly, all the images disappeared, the music faded out, and a peculiar image faded in. In direct contrast to the previous images, there appeared what seemed to be a teenage man. His wrists bore the marks of rare cuts, his torso clad in a solid white shirt, his legs wrapped in jeans, and his jet black curly hair messy. Not to worry though, Sonic's face was still plastered on his head. The camera zoomed in on the man's arm, and then the screen turned white. A red drawing of Sonic sleeping, with what appeared to be blood dripping from multiple parts of his body, slid in from the bottom of the screen. The drawing lingered for a minute, and at the time, I thought nothing of it. Now I understand that the drawing was supposed to represent cuts, explaining the color and the blood. After the minute passed, the drawing faded out, but the background remained white. The teenage man with Sonic's head then appeared again, this time moving upward from the bottom of the screen, facing forward and still wearing the same clothes from earlier. He stared for a while until Sonic's now animated head looked down, whilst his eyelids drooped down to match. He fell onto the ground, illustrated by a loud ear-rating thud. The screen became dark again, and red text slowly scrolled upward. "It is your son, Dad. If you even remember you had one. You were so busy, you never gave me attention. Mom wasn't much better, but at least she fed me right. The only true comfort I could find was at school, with my friends who you've never seen before. You never let me visit them. Ever. I'm sure they are the only ones who will miss me. Did you value this shitty Zen nonsense over your own fucking son? I haven't liked Sonic since I was 8. Not like you would notice. Who is this for? Are you just gonna jack off to this every Tuesday instead of OnlyFans? You have a wife, you worthless cuck. Nevertheless, if you are reading this, I am dead. I plan on ending my life later today. I'm not gonna tell you when and where, I won't be home when you come back. Before I leave your life forever, I have one last thing to say. Fuck you. Signed, Aiden." The game closes after that. I guess the teenage Sonic was just Aiden the potty mouth. I was and still am lost for words. How did this end up on itch.io? Didn't the dad delete the game that partially caused his kid to kill himself? All these muscular men prancing and dancing around with Sonic's ugly mug plastered on their face, made by a grown man, with a kid nonetheless. As always, I am lost for words.